All right, we're live.
Well,
Okay.
hey, hello, everyone. This is where we have to say the disclaimer that once you watch the stream, you'll wonder why you've wasted your time and you'll feel bad about yourselves. The lawyers say we have to have that disclaimer in there. You will question your life. Just get that out right at the beginning. Before I go into my bit, Chuck, you got anything you want to announce for the stream?
You found us. Good job.
It's a thing. It's a thing. We're the Goodman adult hour time.
Yeah.
or something similar. Right.
Goodman
So
games after dark.
Yes, games after dark. We normally were playing some Lankmar. We've been switching it out a little bit, but always something fun in DCC. But tonight we're going to do a story arc in Weird Frontiers, the DCC Weird Western, my Stiff Whisker Press. Massive tome of a book that's currently on its way in large shipping containers from China. I got my pre-copy for doing a lot. Oh my gosh, the amount of work that was done on this thing. Yeah, you can beat someone to death with this book. It's a monster. But tonight, let us do a roll call here. We'll do any plugs you want to do at the end. But Chuck, who's your character? What class are they? And are they a resident of the town of Sweetwaters, or are you here on the train?
Yeah, I'm playing Pierce McIntyre, a cultist. I have my familiar, who's an armadillo named Quesadillo. And I am on the train. I'm not from here. I heard about this crazy space viewing structure they're building, and I wanted to investigate.
All right. So this was a destination for you, and that's why you were on the train.
Yep.
All right. Very good. Jeremy, what do you got?
Oh, I'm playing Scab. I'm not sort of exactly from here. My parents died of consumption. I bounced between a few wards. Then I got adopted by some folks that joined a cult, and they threw themselves off a cliff. Then I got sold off to some dude working a mine, and I died, and I came back, and now I'm a Tommy knocker. I'm 12.
Yeah, it happens to the best of us, even children. Daniel. You're muted, Daniel.
Forgot that the child was yelling profusely, so I muted myself and forgot to unmute. But Dan with the Defenders of Kobold, and I'm playing Chance, our gunslinger, who will likely shoot no one, maybe himself or the rest of the party. But I'm probably from the town.
Okay, so you're a townie. Okay.
People shoot people in towns, right?
I do.
Yeah. So you're a gunslinger in the town. Are you by any chance the sheriff of this town?
Oh, probably not.
Okay.
I don't think I'd survive being the sheriff in this town.
You're the Barney Fife of town.
Yeah,
maybe.
There's not a lot.
You get asked to borrow the bullet.
Yeah, I probably not known for my accuracy.
Okay. Eddie, who you playing?
I am playing Ivan. Ivan is a Russian-born child raised in America as a circus freak, a strong man, but he spent his days as a youth mostly around the luchador ring, looking up to his idol, Esteban, the falling star, who taught him how to wrestle when he got older and stronger. And so he is now a luchador traveling the land with a very confusing accent for his appearance, mostly having learned English from Esteban. And because Esteban was a luchador, everything is a little more dramatic to Ivan. So the crowd may or may not be there, but he is always playing to them.
Okay. So it sounds like Ivan is passing through. This is not a destination for Ivan.
Definitely. He was a traveling circus man. He is not from these parts.
Okay. Chuck, you need to break
Yeah, hey, Eddie Frankenstein, thanks for those bits. Eddie gave us 100 bits. I don't know what we're doing with bits, but we've got bits. Thanks.
Okay. What I was going
something.
to say is 100 bits gets everybody a boon. Everybody take a
that's
boon.
amazing.
Oh, nice. I'll need that because I'm sure to start piling up the heck pretty soon.
Oh, okay, I found it. Never mind. Out screen now.
All right, and that leaves us with our last player. Go ahead and introduce yourself and your character.
All right, I'm Joe with the Defenders of Kobold, and I will be playing the Jebediah Bejebums, the gambler who most definitely is on the train because there's probably bound to be places he can gamble here that he's allowed to be in. Maybe not for long.
I feel like I've heard of this Jebediah Bejebums.
He makes his rounds.
The name just rolls off your tongue. And
I feel like maybe he owes somebody money.
He actually gets by because on the wanted posters, they just can't spell his name. And he's like, yeah, that's not me.
Yeah. They're like, there's no way that's a real person.
And so before we start, if it seems like the players already know kind of what they're walking into, it's because we created the town using a little game called the Quiet Year, which allows you to play out a full year in town creation. And these sorry sacks made a very interesting town to start in. All
I'm
right,
not surprised.
So you guys are on the blue line. This is a long haul train. Those of you that are coming into town, it's not particularly fancy. It really has a lousy cook car, and the private berths are not so private, and it's just a very bad ride for those of you that travel a lot. This is probably one of the worst trains you've been on, which is sad considering it's a new rail line. They just seem to have taken the worst rail cars for it for some reason. So it's been a miserably long trip, and you're having to stop over in this town called Sweetwaters because the train has to get some coal on board. It's got to fill up its boiler, and packages have to go back and forth. So you're going to be laying over here. Layover time is only supposed to be about 6 hours. So in that time, you can get off, enjoy a drink if you like. So as you're coming in, the train station is brand spanking new. Boards are still shining with lacquer, nice brass and glass fixtures all over the place. Lots of confectionaries and windows for you to buy and peruse. There's a newspaper stand with a couple of papers from different places. Train's actually carrying those papers to refill the place. Looks like a pleasant enough town. To your trained eye, being explorers in some ways, the town is very new seeming. Like all the structures in the town have gleaming roofs, fresh paint. The roadways are, freshly, they're not really paved, but graveled and well maintained.
They're not full of ruts and mud yet.
Yeah, it's a very fresh looking town, almost as if it was newly made.
Okay.
You've heard some talk on the train that the place actually has a fantastic hotel, newly built, 5 stars. It goes by the Starline Hotel. And there are a number of folks with a little bit of extra cash in their pockets that are coming here just to partake of this hotel. It also has an amazing bar on the first level. So train pulls in. I believe that there's 3 of you that are coming in this way.
I'm on there.
Okay. So conductors tell you, hang on to your tickets. It's going to be about a 6-hour layover. If you don't have a ticket when you step back on, you got to pay again. So make sure you hang on to them tickets. Leave your luggage aboard if you want, but I wouldn't. And with that, he steps off the train.
Very, very well.
We'll say that you guys on the train, I mean, this has been like days. You've introduced yourself at least. So you know each other. If not friends, you've at least made your acquaintances.
Ivan, could you help me with my luggage? It's a bit much for me, and Quesadillo is quite nervous about new places, and I'll need to carry him.
Certainly.
Thank you, kind sir.
So many folks are choosing just to stay in their private cars and just to wait it out. But many are hankering for a drink, as the drinks aboard this thing have been sour and unpalatable. So many folks are just piling over to the Starline Hotel to get some drinks.
Yes, that seems to be where the crowd's going.
All right.
Ivan,
Do you have any
To Jebediah?
card tables?
I'm sure you'll find
Um,
something to play.
I would
Just a
love to.
passerby will say, "Well, yeah, it's not exactly a Christian town, fella. So I'm sure you can find a game here and there."
Fantastic. It's like a pretty nice looking town, though, for the most part.
It
you're
is.
saying, right?
Well,
Like,
it's. I mean, it's like any other frontier town, except everything looks very new, like freshly built. So, like, I mean, it's slat roofed, wooden structures, but it's all like freshly painted, very well
okay.
put together. The hotel, though, is it looks significantly different than the rest of the buildings. It's got stone foundations. I mean, it looks like marble,
Oh, wow.
maybe. The paint is expertly done. It has murals on the sides of it, having like a very idyllic scene of orchards, and looks like plums growing off of vines are heavily worked into the motifs. It has a beautiful red roof and awning. And Starline Hotel is put in, very stenciled, very elegant printing on it. There are smartly dressed folks helping people in, taking luggage for people that are staying. There's a few hostesses about bringing silver trays with little bites of things to eat, little small refreshments to the folks that are staying in the hotel. So you're all seeing this as you're walking up to it.
This is fantastic. I'll go and get some finger foods, pull the cheese out, and feed it to Quesadillo.
Because the armadillo likes cheese.
Armadillo likes cheese.
I think the Jebediah would take a second to clean himself up a little bit and like straighten his really wrinkled shirt and probably spit in his comb and run it through his hair once and step in.
All right, yeah, there are very nice lead glass mirrors all over the place, so you catch your reflections, spiffy yourself up a little bit. And as you walk in, it's almost like music comes to a screeching halt. The inside is, again, it's beautiful, dark woods, brass and glass everywhere, fresh, clean. But the sight that you see just brings like everything into focus. There's a line of maybe 20 children. They're all dressed in like muddy, filthy, black laced, coal filled clothing. Their hair they all have uniformly black hair from all the coal dust that's on it. White rimmed eyes where they were wearing goggles, but their faces are completely blacked over with coal. And they all kind of turn to look at you. And you see that each of them has like a plate of cookies and a glass of milk in front of them.
Nice.
This is not odd at all.
Scab,
Are
you're
these the
there.
only people in this room, or
No, there are other people's too, but that just seems very odd. These
Okay.
20-some
Contrast.
children obviously working in a coal mine, just sitting here in a bar with plates of cookies and glasses of milk in front of them.
Every kid's got to have a snack after a long day in the mine.
As I walk by, I'll take a look at the children, and Ivan will stand in front of them, presenting himself while carrying all of Pierce's luggage,
Okay.
and lift it up as if it's hand weights. And
So
tell
we
the
checked
children,
before the stream started to see if his luchador is known in this town. And sadly, Ivan the Bear is not known in this town.
it's just
mean,
a strange large man.
Yeah, you're a
that's
strange
glistening.
large man wearing a onesie.
And I just lift up the luggage and tell the children, look, tiny children, if you continue to eat all of your cookies and drink all of your milk, you will become big and strong, just like Ivan.
Chuck, do you need to do anything? I saw that you're having network issues.
I mean, it's just all over the place. I mean, just gonna have to write it out and see if it drops us or.
Okay, yeah, just let me know if you need to pause it or restart it or something.
Okay.
Good enough. Other than the odd children scab, again, you're one of them there. Unfortunately, you're not able to palate milk and cookies much anymore since your accident. And the lady that works the bar here knows about your certain plight. So you've got a small piece of like raw lamb in front of you on your plate.
Thank you.
Other than that, I mean, there's the people on the train have taken booths, taken tables, start ordering drinks and some food. The liquor shelves are lined with top shelf liquor. You even see some casks of, local made brews. There's apparently even a plum liqueur that's heavily showing off there with kind of a lilac advertising over it. There is a piano, one of the player pianos going in the background, playing some popular music. It's a fairly nice place.
So one like the self-playing pianos? Or?
Yeah. Yep, player piano. There are several waiters and waitresses going through, taking orders, bringing beverages, bringing food. You see that like this whole floor is basically the bar and eating area. There are some private rooms on this lower floor that you can see.
Okay, we're back. Things have
Maybe.
leveled out. Looking at it, it looks like it was an issue on Twitch's end. We were seeing some reports of a outage, but things are holding level right now, so we'll get right back into it.
Yep. The
Right, yeah.
we'll be back shortly screen is still up for me, so we'll see. So Daniel, the
Yes.
reason your character is in the bar is because there was a meeting today. It's been long in advance knowledge of it, but one of the hillmen have come down. These abnormally tall hillmen have come down, and they're claiming right of possession for some very odd capsules that were found recently. And the town doesn't want to give them up, but they're very adamant that these things are very important to them. They claim them as kinfolk, which is interesting. These capsules haven't been breached. And yeah, they're kind of like the size and shape of a coffin if the person inside were, say, 7 feet tall. Of course, the man that's come down off the mountain's also, a good 6.5, almost 7 feet tall as well. But you're here. You were hired by the man that's being talked to right now. Let me grab my NPC list here.
Hi, Jake.
Ahoy. Sorry, everyone. I've been ill lately.
Oh.
Yes.
So Jake has come on. Okay, well, let's get your character here. First of all, Jake, is your character a townie or are you coming in on train?
Probably coming in on train.
Okay.
The character is Killian Fauché. He was a photographer originally from France.
Okay. And is this a destination stop for you? Or are you just on the train going further down the line?
I think I'll go with destination.
Okay, yeah,
Some
maybe
strange, bizarre happenings in the
there
area.
are a lot of bizarre happenings that have hit a lot of the newspapers coming out of this town. There's a brand new observatory that's been put up, and there's rumors that the reason it was put here is because there's an ancient observatory, like monolithic style, that was also found here, and several other things. So what you missed, Jake, is you departed the train. The train's supposed to lay over for 6 hours, but if this is a destination stop for you, you probably already booked in at the Starline Hotel. It's a 5-star hotel in this little bitty town. So that's where everyone has just walked in. Okay.
We can just assume that Killian was also asleep on the train for the past 30 minutes. So.
Okay. So you know everyone else that was on the train because the leg of the journey you just got off of was hours and hours long. So you've talked to, let's see, Chuck's character. Okay.
Pierce.
And
Eddie's
and character.
Joe.
And Joe. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So you're in this bar, and the odd thing about this bar, other than it being just this beautiful, beautiful bar that you'd see better out east, is got this line of dirty, coal-covered children sitting at the bar, drinking milk, eating cookies, except for one really awful looking kid who's just got a piece of raw meat on his plate. All right. So now, who was the other local?
Scab.
That's it. So yeah, you two are there. So Scab, you're just there because your work crew is here. So the lady that owns the hotel, one Constance True, was her name. She basically, this is how she gives back to the child labor in the town. She provides them with meals and desserts to keep up their energy and all.
Thank you, Miss Constance, but you could just cook up the meat and give it to the other boys. I'm not feeling real peckish right now. It's okay.
Constance isn't down here right now. People rarely see Constance, so this is just the barmaid, the person who's serving is the one out here right now. Her name is Shirley. Shirley is a plump, red-headed individual, barely tops 5'2".
Oh, I'm real sorry for speaking out of place, Miss Shirley. Sometimes my head gets a little out of sorts.
That's okay, dear. She's like, she reaches like she was going to stroke your hair and then thinks better of it, and she just nods at you.
There's like the piece where like some like rock from the cave in like left a small bit of brain exposed.
Yeah, that kid looks wrong. Right. So you guys come in. What do you want to do? Again, it's fancy looking place, except for these bunch of kids around. Everyone's taking tables here and there. You don't see anybody playing cards just yet, but there are a lot of folks here.
Let's take a table and see if we can maybe get something to drink that's not quite as dreadful. Maybe on the other side of the room of those children, because they're quite filthy, and that one looks.
He's just staring at you. With that expression right there on the screen.
I'm just looking at Quesadillo. He's so cute. I'm waving my piece of meat at him.
I do want to point out that when you roll for a familiar, you also have to roll its personality traits. So Quesadillo is a hypochondriac armadillo.
He's
So
also
Like
looking
Papa, like
disgusted.
armadillo.
So he stays huddled because he might catch a chill and get sick. So
probably
yeah.
the sight of Scab is
Yeah.
a much.
He has a very specialized diet.
Yeah, just boiled quinoa with bits of carrot.
So you don't so much have a pet armadillo so much as you have a pet basketball that you carry around most of the time.
Pretty
It
much.
just sort of shoots a mouth out to eat chunks of cheese now and then.
Pretty much.
So your armadillo has a human comfort companion.
Yeah,
is
that's
what you're
pretty
really
much it.
saying.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
It's mutual.
Right. So menus are on the table. You can get a nice dollar steak here.
That sounds.
They got T-bone. They got New York strip. They got a lot of seafood as well. Fair amount of seafood. And they also have just something that says it's the blue plate special.
Well,
And it doesn't tell you what the meat is, but they've actually got an artist rendition of it on the menu. It looks quite nice.
as they say when in Rome, server, excuse me.
Well-dressed man comes up with a handlebar and mustache, a very cleanly pressed and starched shirt, wanders over to you all. He has an interesting look. I mean, he's a handsome guy, whip thin, but he's got very like Ichthian features. There's just something about him that seems just a little marine-like. He's got bulging eyes. It looks like he might have a malady, but he's still a very good-looking person.
Could I have the blue plate special, and then some cheese for my companion, and then maybe something cold to drink, and also, what's with all the children, especially that one?
Oh well, it's rude to point to the unfortunate, sir.
My
But
apologies.
you'll find that this town has a shortage of menfolk of healthy disposition and age
Oh.
to work our mines, and so the children are put to good use here.
Oh.
But they're all orphans, sir. I assure you, no good family would allow a child to labor such. But orphans, sir.
Oh, that's a separate matter altogether. I mean, where would the medical community be without orphans?
Oh, glad you understand. Now, sir, with the cheese, okay, I would suggest third page, the cheese board there, sir.
Oh,
We have
my.
got some very good custom and, of course, aged cheeses there.
Oh, yes. Could I get some of the Gruyere? He's
of course.
quite a fan of that.
And if you're looking for something cold, if you have a taste for it, the town specialty, we've got a plum brandy.
I
Served best over ice.
would love that. That would be amazing. Yes, thank you.
Looks to your companions there. Anything for the rest of you?
Yeah, I'll get a blue plate thing. How much does that cost?
Oh, 50 cents, sir. That includes a beverage of your choice there as well.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that. And something strong.
Simply nods. Jake, what's your character's name?
Killian.
Killian. Okay. We'll say you're at the same table. You guys have struck up a conversation on the train, so you're kind of sticking together a little bit. And you, sir?
Water. Water. That's all.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sweet Springs is well known for our fresh water. Cold, sir? Or would you like a tea bag with hot water?
No tea bag. Thank you. Just the water.
Oh, very good. Walks off. Yep.
There is nothing in the water that would make me look like that child there. Would it?
It's rude to point. He told me that. There's nothing in the water that'll make him look like the ugly one, will it?
No, sir. Our water is comes from a very fresh spring. It's where the town got its name.
Yes.
Yeah, he goes off to take your order. The child, the unfortunate child, is still staring at your armadillo. Yep, and as this is going on, the argument in the back room that was a little prominent earlier kind of escalates, and sailing through that back room, going several feet into the air and crashing onto, we'll say, lands at the feet of Ivan. Eddie, is that your character's name? I'm sorry, I don't have it up here. Yep. Is the fishmonger Cyrus Crow. And those of you that live here know Cyrus. He's wealthy but not well loved in the town because he's kind of got the fish market cornered up. Nobody else will buy fish that you take out of the streams and swamps here but him. He's kind of made it so everybody else just won't match his prices, so he's the only person you have to sell to. Not well liked, but he's wealthy. He does have some say in the town, but he had just been flung out of this back room, and this giant of a man who's got to stoop to come through the archway of the back room comes out. He's got flame red hair, this long beard, although his head's almost it just sheens with the lack of hair as the light glares off of it. And he's wearing basically some what are they called? Like a farmer's made out of Levi material. What the heck?
Coveralls, overalls.
Coveralls. Yeah, he's wearing coveralls. And he's bare chested underneath his coveralls. He comes out, he's really mad, and as he's walking by, he grabs one of these brass poles that kind of line the bar, and he grabs it and just rips it off and just starts kind of thumping at his hand like a club. And he's following the man he just threw bodily out of the back room, and points a club at him and says, "Cyrus, today you're going to meet your maker. I hope you're all settled up." as he's walking menacingly towards this man with this heavy piece of brass thumping in his palm as he's coming forward. He's just ignoring everybody else in the bar. So Ivan, this poor frail man, pot belly, he's probably in his 40s, he's landed at your feet looking terrified.
Do they look like they would have money?
Does who look like they might have money?
Who of the two looks like they would have more?
The poor man that's on the floor.
Okay.
I will, as he comes through the doors or whatever and slams to my feet, I'll exclaim, "Ay, Dios mío!" and try and pick him up. Are you all right, senor?
Pick him up, dust him off.
I literally just pick him up by one arm and kind of dust him off a little bit.
All right, let me just go across the top of the screen. So, Chuck, what is your character's reaction to this? This guy, this big man, this giant of a man, obviously intends just to end this other man's life in the middle of everybody in this bar.
Well, Quesadillo has quite a weak constitution and doesn't fare well at the sight of violence, so I am going to cast sleep on the big man.
All right. We'll do initiative after the fact to see how this goes. I just want to kind of get everybody's reaction to what's going on. So, Daniel, how does your character react to this?
Or just be like, can you at least take it outside? There's children.
All the children is stopped with cookie in mouth, just watching. Yeah, exactly like that. So, yeah, what's
that one? Not in front of the children.
His scab is just staring. Okay.
Since we all got to take an opportunity to specifically single out scab.
All right. Jebediah. So you have ascertained that the man on the floor has a clearly superior suit that probably cost at least $20. The man in the farm get up may have paid $1 for that.
He looks scarier, but saving someone with a lot of money might be in my best interest. I'm gonna call out to the guy that got knocked over. If he needs help, I'm gonna kind of whisper it. Just be like, "Hey, need any help?"
So this is a stage whisper where you're actually being quite loud as you're not very close, or do you walk over a little bit and Psst, hey?
It's kind of like I can tell this other bigger guy's kind of focused more on just him, but I'm going to do it as loud as I think he'll need to hear it. But I don't really care if anyone else also hears.
All right. Other than exclaiming, Ivan, are you wanting to do anything else?
Once I pick him up and dust him off, I will look forward at the other large man, assuming that he is the source of the altercation.
He's probably at least a good foot taller than you, but you've got him on girth.
Good God, he's like 8 foot tall.
He's huge. He's a monster.
Holy cow! Well, no matter. Ivan backs down from no challenge that involves what he sees as evil doing. So he locks eyes with the big man, even though the big man's not looking back at him. Just sort of stares intently, kind of lowering himself into a bit of a stance.
Sure. Ivan is definitely thicker, more well-muscled, but this is a very tall man. No slouch in the muscle department. Killian?
Killian will just sort of hop up and wave his hands in front of the pipe-wielding giant. Un instant, s'il vous plaît. No need for this level of
all right.
brutality so early in the day.
Okay. So why don't everybody go ahead and roll initiative?
Oh, there it is.
Oof.
Oh, we're doing
big
bad.
oof.
Oh, did Jebediah say okay?
Except for Joe. Good God.
And
You guys didn't select your token, so I didn't put it in the turn tracker, but that's okay. So I rolled a 14, so Jebediah is at least equal to me there. Did anybody else roll higher than a 14?
No.
It does not look like it.
No.
All right.
we did great.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed. Okay. So, Jebediah, what is your agility?
9.
9. Okay, he's going to go first then. Right. So he just comes forward, and before a lot of you can react, he just it's like a batter. He's pointing towards the window and just swings that piece of iron, trying to bring it down on this guy. And it looks all to the world like everyone there that he is not pulling back, like he intends to kill this man. All right, so he goes for first, unfortunately. So, oh my God!
Oh no.
Oh,
Oh,
my
dear God.
Oh,
That man is dead.
Let's see.
Bye, Fishmonger Pete.
we hardly knew you. Ow.
Okay, he hits him just solidly, like Ivan. You had picked him up and was kind of brushing him off, and this big man comes in just so quick, just wielding this piece of brass, and just slams down on his collarbone. You hear and see the collarbone just snap, and the guy's neck just kind of turn in with it, and he just crumples to the ground. You don't know if he's dead or not, but you do know he's not moving. Jebediah is next.
Hmm. This might be a bad idea, but
The best
I have
idea to
this
start
thing
with it. This might be a
called,
bad idea.
there's this thing called bushwhack, where if I make an attack and someone's not aware I was going to attack them, then it auto crits if I hit.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
So I'm going to kind of hop up and walk past him and try and see if there's anything heavy on the counter.
There's big mugs, made of metal. They got like mule mugs, so they got copper mugs with steel plates on the bottom of them.
Perfect. I pick one of those up and kind of like see it's hefty and just swing at the back of his head.
All right, go for it.
Um,
All of his attention was on this man, so
Awesome. All right.
that is not going to hit. However,
You
I haven't
rolled
rolled it
that
yet.
did not.
Oh, that was your damage.
oh, that's not
so-
yours. Oh, that's mine. Okay, yep. Sorry. Yep.
And then I don't think I add anything else. It's melee, so I'm going to spend 2 luck to.
Okay. Now
reroll
everybody
that.
got a boon since someone threw some bits down.
Oh,
So you could spend a boon. Let's see.
is that a reroll?
You can use it as a reroll. Yeah, at this point it's only a reroll. If you spend it before the roll, you
Okay.
could have increased it by a D size, one more die up the chain.
All right, I'm going to spend it as a reroll.
That'll
There you
hit.
go.
Okay.
Ooh,
So,
okay.
Roll your damage and roll your crit. This is a melee weapon.
Mhm. What would that be?
I'll tell
Probably
you what the
D6?
crit is. You should have a crit die for your character class, so you roll that die.
D8.
And if you're attacking as basically this is a club, so it's a D6 damage plus any strength bonus you have.
Okay, -1. Okay, and then so on the crit die, do I add that to the damage die?
No,
or
you'll roll your
just
damage.
roll
I
the
just
die.
roll
Yeah.
and then roll
Okay.
crit.
All right,
4.
that's 4.
Attack
and
lands in the
then-
midsection, knocking
I
the
think-
wind out. Oh, I'm sorry. Is that your damage or
That's
your
Oh,
crit?
that's my
your
damage, yeah.
Okay, so the 4. I mean, you hit him. You assume it did something to reduce his ability to live, but he sure doesn't act like it.
Ooh.
And then I
go
got
ahead
an
and
8
roll.
on my crit die.
An
Do
8
you
on
have
your
any
crit
luck?
die.
I do have luck.
So if you get a
Um,
bonus, add that to your. Say like, do you have a +1 from your luck?
Yes.
Do you have that +1 after spending the luck, though? That's the
Mm.
other thing.
I didn't have to spend luck because I
Oh,
just
that's
used
right.
two.
Yeah, yeah, that's your
So-
thing. Yep.
Let's get a 9.
Okay, so a 9. Hit to the spleen causes the target to vomit blood besides suffering a D12 extra damage. Go ahead and roll it.
Ooh.
Yes. You hit him with a cup so hard you broke his spleen?
Well, it can only reach
Oh my gosh.
so high. So
Did you shove the cup into his spleen?
So the target
God.
doubles over helplessly from the plane. Only a fortitude to save at a DC 13 allows the target to shrug off the pain. So he's not down. Let's see if he shrugs this off. No, he doesn't. He goes down in a heap, basically holding his side. Oh, ruptured. I felt something go like a balloon inside me.
I'm keeping this cup.
Right. So he's down, screaming in pain. But he's not out.
And then I'm gonna. So you said the one guy's like crumpled and out that he hit.
Yeah, the
right?
other guy's like, you're not sure if he's alive or dead, but he's definitely got a broken collarbone, perhaps a broken neck. Hard to tell.
Really hope he's alive.
All right. So that was on the 14. So who
Scab
rolled
would be up next.
Scab. Okay, Scab, you want to do anything?
Yeah.
You don't like this guy, by the way. I mean, you're a townie. Nobody likes this guy. The guy that got hit.
You know, I think the matron over there has asked you several times not to do such a thing. And it was really rude for you to tear that thing off. And I think we're real tired of you, mister. And I think maybe this time might be better off without you.
All right, so I'm a little confused. Are you talking to the tall giant man that's bent
Yep.
over? All right.
And you just see this little bitty 12-year-old boy just drag this giant sledgehammer behind him. And while he's down on the ground, just drags the sledgehammer, reaches back, and just this big up and over arc brings it
oh
down.
God.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, he's prone. Yeah, so let's see. Defender is prone. So you've got a +2 to your attack.
Nice. I like it. Okay, let's give it a try.
Yeah, that'll hit.
12 damage.
Oh my gosh. I'm
I
not
don't
even
like the
doing
way
it.
you talk to the matron, mister. She gives out milk and cookies.
So
and you're just
you in this guy. What does this look like?
Mister, she's tried talking to you nice so many times, and I don't think I can handle it no more. And I think you just need to stop coming in here. I think you need to stop giving this place trouble.
This little kid wielding this maul that probably weighs as much as he does just turns this guy into a paste on the ground.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I'll clean that up right away. I promise. And he immediately starts trying to help clean it up.
Okay. All right. The man that got hit, the fishmonger, he does let out a moan. Looks like he's alive. I think his head just kind of lulls to the side. All right. So we're out of combat, but what do the rest of you guys
Okay.
do?
Yeah, I want to check and make sure this guy's alive and kind of like slap some sense back into him. And
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He's bad off. He's got a shattered collarbone. He's probably got some internal bleeding going on. I mean, there's blood just pooling on this white shirt of his. His
Okay.
coat's kind of pulled back a little bit though, and you see a nice leather money, a wallet tucked into his shirt pocket.
Ooh.
He's
Ooh.
conscious, but he's out of it in pain. He's like blood's coming out of his mouth a little bit.
Told you not to do
Yes.
anything in front of that kid. Jeez.
I think as I'm assessing the damage, I'm pretty sure taking a wallet falls under nonviolent crime, which
Yes.
I get a bonus to.
Yeah,
Your
your little light fingers there.
Yeah. So I might nab that, to pay for his hospital fees, obviously. And
of course,
yeah.
that's what it's for. All right, yeah. So that falls under your particular skill for that.
mhm. questionable pursuits.
Yep.
And it says I gain a +1D in rolls related to nonviolent.
Yeah, so
So
instead of
would that
rolling
be
a
like-
D20, you roll a D24.
Ooh, okay. Do I add anything to that?
If you have an agility bonus or minus, add it to that. This is kind of a sleight of hand sort of thing.
Okay. That's not right. Ooh. Oh, I'm probably going to spend 2 luck on that to reroll.
Okay. All right.
Is that
Okay.
enough?
Yeah. I mean, it's you do it. Whether it's enough, let's find out. Ivan,
Yes.
you're basically just still hovering over this guy, but things happen so fast that you're a little out of sorts. This city slicking looking guy just came up and he's checking the guy out. Looks like he's trying to find out if how badly injured he is. But I tell you what, why don't you make me a D20 check? You can add in your you know what, just make a luck. Make a luck check. We'll do it that way. Luck is
Make a luck
often
check,
used for
okay.
perception. Yeah. He's checking this guy. You know, there's blood all over his shirt. You see he dips his hand into the guy's shirt for a minute. Something happened there, but you're not quite sure what. He might have stolen
Honestly-
something, but he may not have too. You're not absolutely sure, but you saw something go on there.
Honestly, I'm so shocked by Scab that I know I just was holding on to this man and he's now on the floor, but in my limited perception of anything around me, this other man came to rescue him. And I've now seen a child carrying a sledgehammer as tall as he is, end this man, obliterate him. I'm probably just staring at Scab, honestly, and I just give the sign of the cross and El Niño Fuerte.
Yep. So Daniel, being a gunslinger in this town, you know the town has no official sheriff. There's kind of a group in town that is, they pass for being the law and police out here. It's a little cult, truth be told, called the New Dawn. You know, there's been something going on with them lately because their leader has gone missing. Potential is, some foul play going on because his cloak was found, bloody, torn, some other stuff around. You know that there's some investigations going on to it. There are a bunch of Pinkertons in town too, investigating another murder that happened here just a couple of days ago. But so Scab having killed this man is not necessarily a big deal. One, the man is, well, he's one of those mountain folk. Yeah, he's one of those mountain folk that are not particularly well liked around here, and certainly not a part of the community. And as there's no sheriff to press charges against anything.
Guys, I know you just got into town and everything. Just buy everybody around and say it was self-defense and we'll all be good.
Don't have the funds to buy everyone around.
I'm not going to eat my meat. I'll give it to you if you like.
I
Be
tried.
calling out too, like, let's get this man a doctor, and I'm trying to like play up and be as heroic and well-intentioned as possible.
All right.
I was hoping to just squeeze a free drink out of this.
Oddly enough, none of the folks that look like they're locals, like people that weren't on the train, obviously, you were on it long enough to kind of get an idea who was on there. None of them are raising a finger to help this guy. Some of the folks from
Be
your
a
train,
drink and we'll be good then.
some of the folks on the train are helping to lift him up. They made somebody gets his overcoat and they lay him on it and they stretch it out as just a very crude stretcher, and they start asking around. Somebody directs them that there's a new hospital in town. You can bring them there, and they seem completely like nonchalant about it. It's like, oh well, yeah, go in that direction if you really want to help him.
Mhm.
I could take you wherever you guys want.
Yeah. I think I want to follow My goal would be to, as I'm following, I'd be trailing behind a little bit, flipping through his wallet, getting as much information on this guy as I can, like if he's got family, that type of stuff.
Okay.
Take some money,
There it is.
and then put like a bill out, and I would like offer to pay for whatever the doctor's fees would be out of his wallet, and then pocket about half of it myself.
All right.
Nice.
All right.
And then try and get it like slid back into his coat.
Yeah. Okay. So that's going on while you guys take him to the hospital. Meanwhile, Scab, you're cleaning up the mess on the floor. One of the other guys that you know that works here comes by. He kind of is the repair maintenance guy, but he brings out a mop and a scrub pan and he starts helping you. And a few other folks just kind of drag this body out back. And as this is happening, the rest of you that are still in the bar, your blue plate specials are brought to the table. It's like chestnut stuffing and like cooked greens. It smells wonderful. It's got this light vinaigrette on it, but the meat is interesting. It's slabs of thinly cut something. It kind of looks like chicken, but kind of not at the same time. And it's so like imagine a can of Spam that's been sliced up and cut. That's what it looks like. But it smells incredible. It smells really good. You just have no idea what the meat is.
I may or may not be Hill Giant,
So, Killian, I can't help but notice they took the body in the back, and yet they serve us this mystery meat, severely underpriced compared to the other ones. Do you think it's people?
I do now.
Boy, are you eating that?
Oh, no, sir. No, I'm not. I'm terribly sorry I've made an affront to you. I'll clean up your area quickly and I will be out of your way, and I will not assume any further indisposition. I'm sorry.
Well, hold on. What ailment do you have? You're quite unpleasant to look at.
I'm so sorry. I'm so ugly, sir. I don't mean to be affront to you. Just the whole the cave collapsed in on me, crushed my skull a bit, and I couldn't breathe for a couple of days. You know how it is, right?
I don't.
Oh, that's not pleasant. But you don't need to hear my problems, and I don't mean to make your day any worse.
You had quite a
real
bit
sorry.
of force swinging that hammer.
Oh, well, the matron here, she's real nice. She's good to everybody. You see the milk and cookies, and I can't eat them no more, but it's nice that she gives into them, and I appreciate. This is kind of a horrible world, and somebody who shows kindness don't deserve to be treated like that, I don't think.
Wait, that's true. Ivan and Killian, the Jebediahs followed him to the hospital. Should we pursue and not possibly consume human flesh today?
You know it's not human flesh. You don't know what it is either, but the cultists bring this meat out whenever you guys don't have enough fish or cattle. He's eating the hillbilly. That's what he's doing right now. Yeah.
No, I think I'm going to cast Grim Conversation on one of these blue plate specials. And if it just so happens to be the body of someone, I can summon the spirit back into it for 1d3 plus 1 turns.
Oh my God, that would be hilarious.
Also, Chuck, you have an ability as an occultist as well called Sixth Sense, where you can just get a feeling about anything that is not natural, right?
Yeah.
And you had been staring at this kid long enough, and now that he's closer, so yeah, he's definitely there's something unnatural about him more than just how he looks. He's got the taint of the supernatural about him.
Like seriously, like the front third of his nose is missing, so he's just get that weird, like what are they called, chochos?
Yeah,
the things where they intentionally cut their nose off. He looks weird, like a chunk of his face is gone.
Oh, all this excitement and all this weird meat and stuff has made Ivan hungry. Ivan's going to stand up, throw his cape back a little bit, and in dramatic fashion towards the bartender, yell, "Dos bistec con leche, por favor." He wants 2 steaks and a glass of cold milk.
The milk is slid over. Some of the kids look up at you and they do a cheers thing with their own milk.
I do as well. I lift my cup and look at them, kind of make a big, strong arm sort of flex.
Yeah. And so you'll get 2 T-bone steaks put on a plate and brought out to you in short order, cooked medium rare. So if you want to talk to the possible spirit of the dead loaf that's on your plate, no, it's not. Not only is it not human, it's not meat. Like, this didn't come from an animal. It's plant-based of some sort.
Huh.
They're way ahead of their time.
I feel better knowing that you've confirmed that I'm not consuming a person. So
That'd be a horrible thing to do.
stop licking at the blood. It's
Oh no,
He's got pieces of brain in his hand that he's just.
that wasn't a person. No.
That's at least what I heard them say. They said hill folk ain't real people, so it's okay, right?
I'll walk as I'm waiting for my steaks. I've got my milk in hand, and I'm about halfway through chugging my mug of milk. I'm just imagining this big glass tankard of milk.
Yes.
So I'm about halfway through drinking it, and I'll walk over and pat Scab on the back and look at everybody else and go, "Truly, this little Nino has the heart of a warrior. Not even La Muerte could take him before his time." And I look down and see him kind of with little bits of brain in his hands and just kind of, kind of look a little confused. I'm not sure what he's eating, but I'm not sure. Yeah.
Don't take us. It is all right.
So at the
How about
hospital,
it, youngster?
at the hospital, Jebediah, roll me a D8.
Okay.
And I think I'm there with him
Mm-hmm.
for what it's worth.
So you get $6 after paying, after paying a few bucks to the medical staff here and putting back his wallet. You take $6 out.
All right.
So you are not a native of this town, so you're looking around and I mean, you see the normal. There's nurses. That man in the lab coat over there is probably the doctor, and they do have beds with curtains, dividing them and everything. But near the foot of each bed is some kind of odd device. And when they take the fishmonger and they lay him on the bed, they attach these clamps, one on each of his toes. And this device is kind of fired up. And you see sparks and a few electrical arcs here and there. And you see his body kind of jump and dance a little bit in the bed. But then you see that, his breathing gets a little bit easier. And he's kind of slumped off into sleep, but he's got good, strong breathing again. And the doctor starts going and sewing up the wound, which has already stopped bleeding.
Wow.
It's a
I was
modern
never one of
miracle.
them sciencey types, but that seems to be working for him. Is there any information I get on him out of his wallet too? Does he have any anything I could pry on?
Well, he has some legal documents in there. It would take you a while to read them. Did you want to just snag those?
Yeah, I'll find a way to get him back to him eventually.
Okay. All right. Well, if you kind of just hang out in a corner for a bit and kind of look at those documents, it's correspondence over Telegram. He is brokering a deal for Sweetwaters. They catch crab, catfish, and a number of other specialty fishes here. The crab in particular is a breed that's not seen anywhere else. And he has been trying to broker a deal with some sellers back east for just singular demand for this product. So he's trying to corner the entire market of this so that it's only sold to these one group of people back east, and it's for a pretty substantial amount of money.
Well, if it weren't for the fact
I'm
I
to
don't
pretend
care
like
for
I know a lot about crabs. Okay, I'll make mental note of that. Kind of fold it back up and get it back in his wallet and put it back in his things.
Okay. Parnell, what are you doing?
I was just saying, if it weren't for the fact I don't care for him much, maybe I'd stop
To
you,
give
but
you a
he's probably getting what he deserves.
Yeah. Not many people here like Cyrus. That's for sure. All right. So the guy looks like he's going to do fine. You two, what do you do afterwards?
I'm going
Back to the bar.
Do my best to repeat my name to the nursing staff to remind him that I was the one that brought him in. I'm sure it'll take him a few times though. Like,
Oh, well, sir, if
Jebediah.
you'd like to write out a memo, we can make sure he gets it here. And she gives you a stationery.
Yeah, I can't do that. Could you just write the Jebediah, the Jebums?
How do you spell that, sir?
Even he doesn't know.
I'll just do it phonetic.
Yeah, that'll get you pretty close.
And where are you staying, sir? Are you at the Starline Hotel?
Were we planning on like staying at the hotel, or were we just here for
The
a few
layover
hours?
was 6 hours, and this wasn't your destination. So, like, you're fully expecting to get back on that train in 5 hours. Unless you
Okay.
wanted to stay here. You didn't have a particular destination in mind, but this wasn't it. But up to you.
I didn't
could just
have
give him
my
my-
destination in mind. I'm planning on staying here now that
Okay.
I've see this man's got a lot of money,
Mm-hmm.
and I've got a potential ante into that now. So I'll
Okay.
yeah, I'll just say yeah, I'm staying at the hotel.
All right,
they'll,
Starline, sir.
for me. Yep.
Good enough. Yeah, she takes it down and she kind of takes it and pins it to the man's bed. So I'll make sure he sees that when he's conscious, sir.
Excellent. Thank you. And he'd hop out.
All right. Meanwhile, back at the bar, the body has been disposed of. The area's been cleaned. People are going back.
Just a dent on the floor.
Yeah. The children are being ushered out. Their foreman has finally come for them. It's time for the second shift at the mine today. And so, however, Scab, you're told to you need to stay here today in case Constance needs you to make any kind of reparations for any damages you caused. I think your sledgehammer might have damaged her floorboard, son. You might need to work off that debt.
Oh, ma'am, I'm so sorry. I'll wash dishes. I'll carry people's luggage, whatever you need. I'm just real sorry. That was real rude of him to go ripping things off, and I'm so sorry.
That's all right, Scab. We'll get you back on the crew tomorrow. You can work 3 shifts to make up for it.
No, that's real kind of you. Thank you.
Come on, kids.
Monsieur Foreman, one moment, please. Could I get a picture of you and all of these children and yes, little Scab here as well?
Oh, a picture. You
Yes.
working for one of the magazines?
Somewhat. It's French. It would take a while to get there, but yes. I'll pull out my tripod
Sure,
and
sure.
my
Kid,
camera.
huddle up, kids. And he gets all the kids to kind of take a knee in front of him, and he stands up behind him, arms crossed.
And I'm going to, sort of like hold the camera up, like, yeah, I'm taking a picture of everyone, and then it's kind of like aim it down just a little bit further to where like Scab is the one in the middle of the
Yeah. All right.
All right, say America is strange.
America
Yay.
is strange.
I'll take a picture.
Foreman, do you have a moment?
Of course. So this guy again, he's a young man, and he's again got these strange features that just remind you of fish in some way. He's got a skin condition where he's got like a little bit of scales on his cheek, and his flesh seems just a little almost rubbery a little bit.
Does my sixth sense pick up anything on him?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes, I was wondering. I am going to be staying in town for a while, and I'm going to need a research assistant. I believe that young Scab may just fit the bill perfectly. Could I buy him off you?
Oh, he's not a slave. He's working because he needs to make money. I mean, he makes a whole 2 cents a day working for me.
Oh, Scab, you work for me now.
Well, I have to pay off possible reparations on the hotel here. See, I made a big mess over there, and again, I'm real sorry.
It's fine. I will assume your debts on this because you're just too bizarre to get away.
I might have racked up nearly 50 cents a debt, sir. That's like
Your
That's a
new
lot of time.
wage working for me is a nickel a day.
I don't even understand the math of that.
It's more than you make now. You work for me now.
Because I'm used to
Brain is
working in increments
slightly
of 2,
damaged.
but a 5 is a 2 and a 2 and a little bit more, and I just
I'll
can't
tell you
quite
what.
do that.
I will make your life easier, and I'll go ahead and just round that down to 4 cents a day.
Oh, thank you, sir. That's so kind of you.
Very well.
You're good people. Good people.
It's not like he must
Intelligence
save for
minus.
school, huh?
Yes.
All
very
right.
good.
All right, kids. That copper's not going to mine itself. Let's get to it. Kids march off. Yes, sir. They all start slumping away.
Now, Scab, how long have you been the way you are?
If I'm being honest, sir, once you stop sleeping, time kind of gets a little funny on you.
You don't sleep. That is amazing. I did
Well-
hear about this one sleep experiment they did over in Russia with the old czars. It's quite amazing. Is that why you were consuming that dead man's parts?
So as you guys are speaking, some well-dressed gentlemen come in, and they definitely don't have the fish-like features that you're seeing a lot of the younger children here and young men have. They're dressed smartly, black hats, black coats, starched white shirts. Jebediah, you know a Pinkerton when you see a Pinkerton, and a couple of them may know you. So they take a good hard look at the bar and the people that have come in on the train. Two of them kind of stop, stare at you for a good long time. One of them puts a valise down on the table and brings out a thick stack of papers and starts to eyeball you, starts going through the papers one
I
after
kind of like
another.
nervously break eye contact and check my broken pocket watch and
Now, if you're looking
Put it
for the
back.
hill giant, he's out back. He's already gone.
And so this is a common thing for your character being a townie. The Pinkertons have been here for just a little under a week. This Sunday will be a week, so tomorrow will be a week, and they're here because one of them railroad tycoon's son was murdered. At least they say he was murdered here in town. And they've been paid to get to the bottom of it, find out how he was murdered, who murdered him, and bring that man to justice. And they've been poking around. They've been making general nuisances of themselves, but for the most part, they're very polite, and they do pay their way.
Hill
So
giant.
you may have been
back.
questioned by one of them.
These people just show up on the train today. They don't got nothing to do with whatever you're doing.
I will be the judge of that. So one of those hill folks came back today, huh?
And it came back, then left. Not the way it came, but
He was quite dead.
Ah, that's all right. I mean, they're barely human, right?
right. I mean, they were upset about something, and then
Very odd.
Beatings happened.
Yeah. Actually, one of them sees Ivan at the table, says, look, he comes over to Ivan, looks at you really hard for a minute, says, I believe I caught one of your shows just south of the border. Couldn't have been 6 months ago.
Ah, yes. Obviously, you are a fan of me, are you not?
Well, I'm a fan of the wrestling. I just happened to catch you as a sidecar. You did a good job. Did a really good job.
Ah, gracias, senor.
Are you still doing the wrestling thing, or are you trying to make your way otherwise?
Oh, this life is It is everything to me.
Oh, so you got some steaks there and milk. Why don't you have a beer with me, my friends here? It's been a while since we've had an entertainer. I think you're muted, Eddie.
Oh, sorry. I'd say, gracias, senor. I would love to join you for a meal, but please, I do not drink any alcohol. Only milk and water.
Ah, well, another milk and another steak. How about that?
Oh, that would be fantastic. Yes, thank you very much.
Oh, have a seat. Yeah, so they
Go and
start
sit.
talking to you, and they, the questioning just kind of seems to be like, have you been through this town before? Were you planning on staying? Are you moving through?
Yeah, and I will answer all of their questions while drinking my milk and eating my steak. I have absolutely no idea if there's any pretense or anything. I don't pick up on any of that
Right.
kind of stuff. So,
Well, they seem to be giving you an interview of some sort. And after you've kind of said your piece and, they paid for not only this steak and this milk, they paid for your other meal. They say, look, there's only 5 of us here right now. We've been here about a week. We're not making a lot of headway. A lot of people are just not very friendly or talkative around here. There's a great bunch of people that work just outside of town that we really need to talk to, and they're not being too forthcoming. Big man such as yourself, if you were interested, we could pay you $20 a day if you'd render your services onto us for a couple of days, say 2-3 days. We'll put you up in this hotel too. It's a great hotel. You get a great night's sleep here.
and I'll ask him kind of what sort of work they're looking for, because as I've explained to them, I'm a traveler, and I'm and in my unique way of speaking as a luchador, I mean I brandish myself as a warrior for justice, out for public good, and not really so much out for work.
Well, to be honest, it's your size and your intimidation factor we're after. We're not necessarily saying you need to rough up anybody, but honestly, my friends and I here kind of soft-spoken. We carry very nice guns, but we can't just go around killing people because they don't answer questions. Having a big man such as yourself just standing by with an air of menace that you have might be useful. And again, we don't intend you to break any kneecaps or harm anyone. Just hanging around might be very useful to us. Worth at least $20 a day.
And who are these people that need questioning? Are they wrongdoers, evildoers?
Well, strange bunch of people. See, there's a swamp and a canyon up towards the north. And have you had any? Well, you don't drink, so I guess you haven't had any of their plum libation that they sell here. But the murdered man had a falling out with one of these people that what would you call them? They take care of those orchards. They pluck the plums and they distill it out. But there was some kind of falling out. The man got killed. We highly suspect it's one of these people that deal with that orchard, but none of them will talk to us, and they've got the whole place fenced off.
Ah, a potential murder. One man against another. Crimes against nature.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't want a murder to go unaddressed, would you? It was clearly
Never.
murder. The man had no weapon on him.
Evil must be punished.
So are you our man? And he puts down a $20 gold coin on the table. Say 2 days?
I will agree, but I will forego payment until the deed is done, because no honorable man would be paid up front.
They look at each other. It's like, all right, very well. We'll get you set up in this hotel then. And we'll say we'll start tomorrow. It's getting a little late. So you enjoy yourself. We'll set up a tab for you. Eat what you want. We'll get you a room, and we'll come, say, 7 a.m. tomorrow.
Fantastic. That will be just at the heels of my morning routine for wake up and workout.
He goes out and he lifts oxen for an hour.
I'll just find the heaviest person in the room and start bench pressing him.
Yeah. Jebediah, the Pinkertons didn't seem to find your mug shot in their wanted posters, so they just left you alone after giving you the hairy eyeball for a little bit. Are you wanted, by the way? Maybe not in these parts, but in the parts your
Not in these
train fled.
parts. Yes. I have a feeling I go from town to town until I can no longer gamble without being shot on sight, and then I move on.
Yeah, sounds good.
Wear out your welcome and then move along.
All right,
Yeah.
Chuck, you have secured the services of one very odd-looking scab child.
Yeah.
An awful lot of strength behind his arms. Parnell. Yeah, I mean,
I've been trying to ingratiate myself with really rich people who I could probably get drinks off of. It's not been working out.
no, because they have no money or don't want to spend it on you. All right, so those of you that didn't plan on staying here, your train is due to leave in 4 hours now. Those of you that this was a destination for, so Chuck, outside of the few dollars you have in your pocket, we'll say you've already secured your lodgings here.
Oh, good. Okay.
Because you wanted to go and check out the observatory that was recently built, and perhaps the rumors of the ruins that are to be found in this area as well. Jebediah, there are a few people that are just whiling the time away before the train goes that have broke out some cards and playing a few hands here and there. Ivan is in deep conversation with those Pinkertons, leaving our Frenchman, who was doing what?
Just listening in on the conversation between the Pinkertons and Ivan.
Okay.
Mention of payment, mention of wine, mention of murder, all these sorts of things caught his attention, so he's just kind of in the background listening. And now Killian will probably approach Ivan and say, I think I might have a shortcut to solve this problem. Though I do not want to deprive you of $40. I could still solve the case, of course, for justice, but $40 is $40.
So Ivan's not really sure if you're offering to take the money in exchange for doing it or if you're offering to give him the money in exchange for doing it. He's just interested in justice. He heard you say justice and he says, my friend, you are also a warrior for justice as well.
Photographer for justice, yeah. But I can.
Excellent. You can document my exploits as I solve the world's problems of evil.
Crime scene photographer. That's right.
Hey, you guys probably like someone to show you around the town, but I got to keep my spirits high.
Yes, spirits high. Yes. Could you show us where the body of the murder victim might be held?
I probably could, but my spirits are a little low right now.
Well, if only I had $20, I could make that problem go.
I'll immediately look over at the bar maiden. What was her name again?
Well, yeah, she heard the whole conversation. She says, "Yes, sir." They opened a tab.
And I'll just look at her and I'll say, "Oh, beautiful señorita, please, another cold milk for my new friend here."
She puts down the top shelf bourbon she had reached for, and she gets the urn of milk and pours you out a cold milk. Nice.
I'll slide it over to Chance, and I'll pick up my own half-drunk milk, and I just say, "Please go on, my friend."
I'll wave over at the bartender. Wave back up at the bourbon.
She puts down the bourbon again.
Vintage room for me. Wine, plum wine, yes.
Oh, okay. Pulls down the plumb line. Make me a fort save.
Oh boy.
Oh, this is some strong stuff.
I did get the plum brandy with my meal. Do I need to?
Okay,
as well?
yeah, make a fort save as well. If you also got the plum brandy, and did you eat the mystery meat, by the way?
Yeah.
It's surprisingly good.
Oh, nice.
It tastes somewhere between like a sirloin steak and fish. It's an odd combination, but it doesn't taste bad. Not at all.
Oh, wow. We both got 2s.
Amazing.
Okay. We will keep that in mind.
Okay.
It's fine. I mean, yeah, it's a plum brandy. It's sweet, and it's got the a little bit of alcohol going on there. It's quite nice. It's not too strong, not too weak. It's nice,
Okay.
refreshing.
Hey, mister, I'm real sorry, but would it be too out of line for me to feed some of that cheese to your pet?
It's fine.
Here, Dilla,
It's,
Dilla, Dilla, Dilla.
his name's
Here, Dilla, Dilla,
Quesadillo.
Dilla, Dilla.
He
Your
is
quesadilla.
quite skittish. When was the last time you've washed your hands?
1725.
It's fine. I'll get into my suitcase and I'll pull out a pair of gloves. Like, put these on before you feed him. He loves cheese, so please, you give him cheese and he might just, consider you a friend.
Here, Dilla, 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 Dilla. Here, Dilla, Dilla.
And this child just desperately tries to seek the affection of your pet.
Right. The cheese wins out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gloved up, you feed it cheese, it's quite happy.
That's all Scab needs.
Okay.
He smiles ear to ear. It's disgusting looking when he does so.
Hold on just a second, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that big gash in his
All right,
cheek isn't really
Literally from ear to ear.
All right, so some of you have secured lodgings here. Others of you have secured lodgings in other places. So Dan, I think your character or your chance probably stays at the flop house since you're broke, I take it.
I'm fairly.
Yeah. Yep. So they do have a convenience house here. They even if you're lucky and you get there early enough, you get a bed. If you're not, they've got you just kind of men will line up on a wall. They drape a rope across, and you just kind of hang over the rope, and that's how you sleep. This was actually a thing.
Wow. How much does it cost to stay at this hotel?
It's free. Oh, at this hotel?
Yeah.
This hotel is $5 a night.
Yeah, I definitely can't afford that.
Yeah.
That's why I'm trying to get in with these seemingly rich folk here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But there is one Jebediah who's wanting to stay on now. Now you have recently enriched your own wallet with someone else's gain, so you could afford a night here.
Yep. Which I think I'll do, and I'll try and earn my next night through some gambling. With anyone else that's
Well, if you ask around, they do have a lot of there's another train due in a few hours, and often those that come and avail themselves of this hotel do end up gambling through the night, as there are some very good liqueurs up here, and people, there's not a lot of entertainment in this town as of yet. It's town still growing, you're told, but there's not a lot else to do.
Perfect.
Okay.
Now, the real question is there anybody in this town who would take me on in an exhibition match?
Scab might.
No, Ivan, you are worth too much money to be killed outright.
Honestly, from what you've seen, if you can coax one of those hillmen to give you a match in town, you might actually become very popular here if you were to beat one of those hillmen in a ring.
Are there any more around town currently?
Well, so far you've seen very little of the town, just the hotel and the area about.
You
really just don't know.
Local guide.
Yeah. If you ask Chance, Chance would know they don't come into town unless they've got a reason to be here, but they've been coming more frequently because they're trying to get a hold of those capsules that were found.
Yes, I'll look to my new local friend and ask him, please, senor, if there is some way, I would love to put on an exhibition match for all of the townsfolk. If you could find me a worthy opponent, I promise you a good show. But this idling about in the hotel, just waiting for some action, it drives me nuts.
Wow, for the right motivation, I could probably find you some motivation.
Well, I'm sure there is something to be made from the people's enjoyment. Obviously, they love the match so much they give wholeheartedly.
Yeah. I like the sound of that.
All right.
I could wrestle you up. Someone might be two people in a trench coat, might be a hill giant.
2 halflings in a trench coat.
Two halflings in a
Dang it.
trench coat.
Don't forget to eat them when you're done.
Or 4 orphans in a trench coat.
I mean, they want money too, right?
Right. All right, guys. So those of you that have rooms already, after you've had a meal, you've had a few drinks, there's very little in the way of entertainment down here unless you're a gambler. They have just a single player piano that keeps playing the same music over and over and over with no pianist coming in until later in the evening. So you check out your rooms. The rooms are very nice. The beds are just very spacious. They're comfortable. There are there's electric strands. You've got electric lights in the room.
Oh, wow.
Water closet, so you've got actually hot and cold water, and toilet, and there's a fan on the ceiling. It's very nice. It's a very nice room.
Is
For
there
$5 a night, though, it ought to be.
Is there a tub in the room?
Yes. In the room, no, but each floor has a public bath in it.
Okay. I was just trying to
after
figure
doing
out
my-
where Scab was going to sleep for the night.
No, that's okay, sir. I don't have any need for it. In fact, I'm gonna work off some of my debt to the hotel here overnight. If that's okay with you, you don't have to pay me while I'm working for the hotel. I understand that's not fair to you.
Okay. Easy enough.
I will go to my room and do some evening exercises, some handstand push-ups, things like
Finger
that.
push-ups,
And then,
one-handed
and then
push-ups.
when I'm done with those, I will go make use of the floor's tub, and I will soak, wearing my mask only, of course,
Yes.
to wash off the day's oil from my muscles, and then immediately finishing my tub bath, I will immediately apply fresh oil.
You got to shine up those abs. So it's there's several copper tubs in the room. There's an iron stove that's kept hot, and you just put as much hot water as you want in, and there's buckets of cold water. It's half a hot tub and half a steam room. So you kind of best of both worlds there, and it's quite nice. Actually, drinks are brought to you every so often, so you can cool yourself off a little bit. It's all part of the hotel bill. So you guys doing that just fine. Jebediah, I think you're going to play some cards tonight and try to win some. Chance. If you're hanging around with them and trying to make some money tonight, probably means that you're sleeping on the rope tonight, because you're going to be getting to the flop house a little late, unless you want to try and try your hand at some gambling tonight, make a little bit of money. And what's our Frenchman doing?
Gamble, no, but provide like protective services, perhaps.
All right, I tell you
Going
what,
to be
make
a-
me a personality check, Dan.
No.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Oh, that is not right. Hold on one second. I typed a 19 into my personality, and I'm positive that's not right. I don't know how I got that in there.
You've been hitting the wrong stat all night if you've got a 19.
I certainly don't. I'm pretty sure it's significantly worse than that. It is 12.
12 ain't bad.
It's not bad, but
Better than average.
but that roll was.
That roll, yeah. You come off a little too needy for everyone that's in the bar, so like nobody takes you up on it, really. Unless the Frenchman wants to do something. What's the Frenchman doing?
I think abusing Ivan's tab.
Okay.
He'll probably get wasted and then challenge Ivan to a fight.
Oh no.
Wow.
So you weren't intending to stop here. So like, are you going to get back on the train? Have you found several things that could be very interesting stories, though?
Oh no, this is a good place. I get
Okay.
to solve a murder and earn potentially $20 to $40, depending on how on the ball Ivan is.
Yep. But can you afford the $5 to stay here tonight? It's this or the flop house. There's no other hotel in the area.
Well, I'm sure there's a graveyard somewhere I could probably stay in.
That's
Yeah.
true.
There is.
Yeah,
Okay.
They got some great ropes.
I know. I know a little bit of the Marseillaise game. I'll take you on in some fisticuffs, Ivan.
Are
That's
you
the question,
proposing this
Ivan.
to me while I'm in the tub, or are you?
Well, it depends on
Because
how
I'm
drunk
pretty
I
sure-
feel.
I'm pretty sure I could still take you while sitting in the tub
From upstairs.
upstairs.
He just picks a fight with a random hill folk thinking it's Ivan and still loses.
Yeah, I would think if Killian is drinking, you're probably drinking late, and it sounds like Ivan is early to bed, early to rise sort of guy.
Yeah.
So it's probably not there when you get good and drunk. Well, let's see how Jebediah does. I'm gonna try a few
Alright.
hands of cards and see how you're doing.
Yeah.
And I believe there is a gambling thing specifically you can do. Let's see here.
Yeah. I know I can cheat pretty easily.
Mm-hmm.
It was oh, I get to add my mojo die.
Yeah.
And so if I was going to lose a round of gambling, I can roll a d20 plus my mojo die versus a d20 plus their intelligence, and I win.
Mhm.
So
All right.
Let's
So you
do
sit down
that.
on the table, and these are some fairly wealthy folks that are stopping through. They heard this is a new hotel, and this is kind of what they do. They try out new hotels and look for business opportunities. They hear that there's a new observatory that's been put in, which means the college folk will be wanting to come through here. So one little hotel isn't going to be enough. They're going to need some dormitories for these cheap students who can't afford the Star Line, and so they're looking at some property while they're here. So you sit down at a table with them. Now they pay for big steaks though. So when you sit down, they tell you it's $1 ante. We don't pay for we don't play for anything less than $1 ante.
I try to not choke on that, and like, oh yeah, I can. Yep, of course.
All right.
Gotta believe.
Mhm.
Okay, so here we go then.
Go
So
in.
I'm going to roll for the table. So I'll use the best agility modifier, or excuse me, intelligence modifier at the table. So here's my roll. Got some shrewd businessmen here. We'll give it a +2. Only a 10.
Well, you got this. You've got this.
That's pretty fair.
Now the question though is, are you cheating or are you going to play a hand, a normal hand?
I'm gonna do a normal hand to start.
Okay.
Because if I win or if I lose, both can work in my favor.
Mhm.
So
Oh,
okay,
you don't even need to cheat.
Don't even need it. Okay.
all right.
Roll a d12. Okay, you made $6.
Sweet.
You know, say that's like half an hour of playing with these guys. You don't lose any money. You make $6 off of it. They don't seem to be concerned at all, and they invite you to continue playing if you'd like. Some of them would like a crack at trying to earn that money back. Others just simply don't care. They're whiling away time, and they buy a round of liquor for the table.
Okay, I might do one more round.
Gonna do one more round. Okay. And so each one of these is like, it's not just one hand, it's like half an hour of play or so.
Okay.
Oh, So the other
no.
thing that happens during this round is that one of the guys starts buying liquor for the table. And, he kind of eggs people on into taking some shots, and he's paying for the rounds. Everybody
right.
at the table is like, oh, of course, that's good high shelf stuff. And they take. Are you drinking too?
I would be.
Yeah, you have
Yes.
a ability for that also. You've got a high tolerance.
Yeah. Mhm.
All right. So, are you cheating this time?
Not against the 22. Or I guess is that already like a decided round? Like, do I decide if I'm cheating going into it, or
No,
I'm not sure how that works.
you. I'll let you use it after the fact. That's fine.
Yeah.
So into it, you can tell that they might have played you to begin with to get you to stay at the table. Now they're getting you or trying to get you a little tipsy, and the stakes have
Yeah.
gone up higher, and they're playing better.
Just a bit.
They sandbagged you.
Yeah.
So, how much do I lose for losing that round?
Do you want to stay with that and not try and cheat?
I'm going to stay with that for this round and want to try and make it back in the next.
All right.
Just gotta keep going. You'll make it back.
Yeah.
You lose $10 in the next
Oh.
half hour.
Ouch.
So it's pretty late in the night. Some of the guys at the table are starting to get red in nose and cheek. You can tell they're getting a little drunk, or at least they're
Mhm.
acting that way. The one guy that's been buying the drinks, though, you've been just casually noticed that he's taking sips here and there, and then he'll kind of toss the liquor off the
Mhm.
side a little bit.
Swaps his glass with the guy to the left or right of him who's finished theirs.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Really wish you
Oh.
wouldn't spill that on the floor.
So the next half hour, a couple of the people drop because the pots have gotten a little bit too big for them, you think, or they're just too drunk and they know it. And they're, good businessmen. They're just like, oh, okay, so this isn't entertaining anymore. I'm going to turn in. Good luck to you. So you're at the table with 3 other men. These are the power players. You can tell the one man is obviously makes his living as a gambler, but maybe not like class gambler, but he makes his living as a gambler. You can tell
Mhm.
that he's been kind of egging these other 2 guys along, and he's kind of made you as a mark as well. The other 2 guys are just they're still entertained by it, and they seem to have deep pockets. So if you're willing to go another round,
I'll do one more.
Real quick before you roll it, Joe, can I use
Mhm.
my boon to let Joe upgrade this?
yes.
Sweet.
So it's +1D to a friend if you want to use your
I
boon
would
to do
like
so.
use my boon.
Okay.
Let Joe get up to a 24. D24.
Okay.
All right. You might have noticed the extra plus in there. The guy's cheating.
Yeah. All right. I think I'll cheat as well.
Do it. D24 plus the cheat.
Amazing how this deck has 7 aces.
I can't
Crazy
even
how that
count high.
happens.
Oh, you must be talking about my deck of cards. Oh, wow. You needed it.
Ooh,
That's close. That's
that
close.
was
It is.
scary.
Yeah. But you do win the hand. You can roll it. Roll 2d8.
Oh my gosh.
Let's have
All right.
Are you supposed to have a -1?
For my intelligence.
All right.
Okay.
So you only win back $4. So
Oh, you
it's
pretty
you
much-
and
That's
him.
fine.
and
You win some, you lose some. The other gambler ends up making a tidy little fortune, but you don't lose too bad.
you
the other 2
basically
people-
broke
Net
even.
gain of $1.
The 2 other people at the table, though, have had enough of it at the end of it. It's like, you guys are just too damn lucky. We're turning in for the night.
Mhm.
All right. The other
All right.
one, the other guy at the table, after the other 2 leave, you see he picks up the cards and he fans it back and forth a little bit, puts them away in his pockets, and says, "Haven't seen you on the circuit before. Nice sleight of hand you got going on there."
Yeah, new to these parts. For no particular reason. Just trying my luck at a new place.
And as he does that, he kind of opens his coat a little bit, and you see like there's a big Navy pistol in his pocket. He just flashes it just real quick, covers it up, says, "It's not good for 2 of us to be working the same rubes. I'm heading out. I suggest you not be on the train."
Yeah. Oh, he's saying that he's leaving like on the next train.
Yeah, he's continuing on. He's not sure if you are or
Okay.
not, but he's saying like, "I suggest you not be on the train though."
Mhm. And I'm gonna like itch my arm and show off my super tiny, dainty derringers. And like, yeah, I think that's a good idea. And I'll nod at him and wish him a good night.
Only so many sheep that 2 wolves can work. Appreciate the game, though. Tips his hat.
No problem.
All right. So you're buying a room for the night, and Chance, luck
No,
has not been with you tonight, although you have been drinking pretty heavily off of Ivan's tab.
yeah, of course.
But unfortunately, it looks like
So-
you're going to be laying against the ropes tonight.
It's the only way to keep the steady hand.
All right. So it's fairly late, those of you that have gotten lodgings. And what is Killian doing? Are you going to pay for lodging or?
No, he's got no money. He was gonna try to earn some money doing photographs, but he only got the one, so he's gonna head to the graveyard to go take a nap.
All right. Don't know where the graveyard is. That might be where you can bring
Well, he'll
Chance into
probably
this.
then just wander around, slurring his speech until he stops somewhere.
Okay. Fair enough.
I wouldn't do then.
So let's do that scene real quick. So you do find the graveyard, and it's odd. Usually a graveyard in a town like this is attached to like a local church. And you're looking around and you don't see any steeples anywhere. You don't see anything that passes for a church anywhere. So you start just kind of wandering town. Chance, you may or may not follow him, just depending. Like you might feel like he might be getting into some trouble in this town, and you know you might.
I
look
mean,
after
sure,
him
I'm
or-
looking for someone to stumble around with for a bit.
Okay. And
We've been drinking together all night.
You see, again, this whole town is new, new constructions. Just and you're looking around, you don't see a graveyard anywhere. But you do catch some sight of some old stonework off to the very south of the town, at the very edge of the town. It draws your attention, and you go and you take a look at it, and they're just kind of all jumbled into one place. Like they were definitely brought here from somewhere else, and they certainly look like tombstones. But the writing on them is not like any writing you've ever seen in your life. You heard of like Egyptian, or a cuneiform, and you've heard of Egyptian symbols like that, but not like the pictures you've seen. They're creases and folds and very geometric shapes, and the writings from the top to the bottom on things that look very much like tombstones, though.
We don't put the hill giants out here.
I guess Killian's not really from America, so he probably wouldn't understand the real significance of this. He would probably just think like, oh, this must be from like super ancient Vikings from Greenland who landed here ages
Okay.
ago, and just
Fair enough.
pass out against one of them.
Okay. It's late at night. Those of you that have found lodgings or even stumbling around outside, it's the night of the new moon, and something draws all of your attention. Even those of you in the rooms, you have the windows open because it's a nice night and bringing a cool breeze in. And just as you're nodding off, there's this light display in the air to the south. And you look out, you've heard of the Aurora Borealis, you've read the dime novels, talking about the Northern Lights. Dang, if this place doesn't have a light show. There's these deep purples and greens and just very odd colors just floating around in the night off to the south. It's like it's coming out of the ground and almost like a miasma. And the light of the new moon just kind of interplays with it. It sparkles. It's a very, very odd, but kind of hauntingly beautiful scene.
It's not creepy at all.
Yep.
I'll go find Scab. Scab, are those lights always there at night?
I don't think always. I'm sorry. I've been underground for a spell. I hope you forgive me. It's hard to know exactly how long I was underground. I think I've seen it once before, but I don't think it's normal. But that's okay because there's a lot that's not normal here.
Yeah. So with that, you look out the window onto the street below, and there's not a lot of life late at night here, although the streets are fairly well lit. Below you, the alley between this hotel and the next building, you see, well, you're assuming it's a woman. It's a very modern dress with like a sun hat and a parasol at night with long gloves. And she's meeting with a very well-dressed man in the alleyway. They seem to be talking. The man links arms with her and they go strolling out into the night. As she turns, her face is in a veil so that you can't make out her features. But they go strolling through the town. Chance and Killian, as you are checking out these, call them tombstones, you see the couple pass by. The woman dips her parasol at both of you, and they continue to walk in the moonlit night underneath these odd pulsing colors coming from the south. And we're at time. So with that eerie scene, we will leave the introduction of Sweetwaters, the town that you all found yourself in. And the players, if any of you feel lost about all the weird stuff that's going on, check out the episode on my YouTube channel or on my Twitch channel at Steam Steel Murder.
Links in the
where
chat.
where we did the town creation using the quiet year, and a lot of things will come to light with that. But yeah, Chuck, any announcements you want to do? Anything else going on with the Kobolds this week?
Yeah, twitch.tv/Defenders of Kobold. If you swing by this Wednesday at 9 p.m. Central, we're playing the D&D basic setting Thunder Rift, but we're rocking it out using the Forbidden Lands system from Free League Publishing. Friday, 10 p.m. Central, we're going to be playing Shadowrun, but we're using the Year Zero engine. I play a lot of settings and different systems. It's the way to do it.
Especially Shadowrun.
Especially Shadowrun. And this coming Saturday, I don't know what we have this coming Saturday. It might be the Darkest House. So, yeah, that's what we got for Defenders.
All right. Jeremy, why haven't you had a new episode on the Pludcast since December 12th or 19th, I see?
I know it's hard to wrangle the folks together, but the good news is if you want some good, solid, fun nonsense, check out the Lollygaggers. 9 p.m. Monday, we'll play some Deadlands. And we'll pull some teeth.
I'll be there for that. And I'll get
Dr.
those
Cuspid's
teeth
in there,
for
right?
you.
Teeth.
Does anybody else
Fair
got
enough,
anything
right.
that's non-Kobold related you want to throw out there?
I don't think so.
Doesn't
I always invite people to check our Discord, which isn't exclusively Kobold.
That's right.
there's a few other
That's
channels
true.
on there. The Lollygaggers are on
Yeah.
there. Grim and Perilous is on there.
Mhm.
So yeah, their Discord channel's got a lot of fun stuff. But also feel free to check out mine. Check out the channel twitch.tv/Steam Steel Murder. Check us out on YouTube, the podcast at Blue Magic, BLUMAGIK.com. We've now got over 11 years worth of role-playing goodness on there. So yeah, this was kind of an introduction tonight, guys. Not a lot of violence going on. Gave you a little bit of something there to start off the game with, but there are a lot of things afoot. Hopefully you guys will latch onto something you find exciting, and we'll go from there.
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds good.
I've already got way too many ideas.
I am looking forward to meagering out some justice.
I'm just grateful that I didn't get an opportunity to use my guns tonight.
That would have been bad.
Yeah.
It would have been bad because my card was an 8.
I saw your rolls last night. You used all your good rolls in the game last night. So
They got cleaned out. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I guess say goodbye, everybody. Thanks for watching out there. Sorry, this one was a slow one, but there's we're set up. We've got a weird town going on with lots of points that you guys can get in with.
Yeah. We'll
So-
be back for the next session of this 2 weeks from tonight. here on Goodman Games Official.
Fantastic.
Night, folks.
Night.